Should we get started?
Sure.
All right. I am pleased, we'll get ourselves set up here, but I'm pleased to introduce to you Christine Singleton. Although if you've known her since she was young, apparently her name is Chrissy.
No, it's not.
But it's Christine to me. And I've known Christine for it's been a couple years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I've watched her take a dream and make it a reality. And she is the founder, oh, we're so far away. Founder and owner of Total Eyewear Gallery in Altoona. Mm-hmm. And so welcome, Christine.
Thanks.
So here's your commercial. You tell us what Total Eyewear Gallery is, how we can find you, and what we would find when we go there.
Okay. Well, Altoona, Iowa, an old town, and it's a real rustic area of town. So I absolutely fit there. And when you walk in, well, you're going to find me. And I really believe in everybody as an individual, and everybody has different needs throughout their visual life, and just asking a lot of questions, figuring out what you need, who you are, what do you want, and so we help you do you, and that's kind of our motto. And customer service is at its height, and it's the most important thing to me is that people are treated well, no matter who you are, what you want, whether you just need an adjustment, which is free of charge, or you're there to buy something. It just doesn't matter. We treat everybody the same.
And your hours?
My hours are Sunday and Monday we're closed. Tuesday 9 to 6, Wednesday 9 to 7, that's our late night. We do stick around as late as we need to on Wednesday nights. Thursday and Friday 9 to 6, and every other Saturday.
Perfect.
From 9 to noon.
Perfect. And you're on social media.
Are we on social media? Yes.
So we can find you.
Yes, perfect. Very easily.
Perfect. So why don't we start with your beginning and how maybe you landed in the optician world. And
oh my goodness, yeah. So I was, I was a single mom, and I was somewhere around 18, 19 years old with a 2 or 3 year old, and I was working 3 jobs, and one of those jobs was folding clothes at a department store at the end of the night and putting them back up. And I was walking through the mall, and I noticed there was these really important looking people wearing these white jackets, and there was all these glasses, and everybody just looked so important. And there was a sign in the window that said help wanted. And I was scared. I worked fast food, 2 fast food jobs, Des Moines JC's telemarketing, and then I was folding clothes. So I didn't feel important. Yeah. And so my brother, who is like the push-all, and I talked to him about it. He said, "Sis, just go in there, grab that sign, and walk up and put it on the counter and ask for the hiring manager." And he walked me through what to say, what to do, how to dress, everything. So I got rid of the boots and the blue jeans, and I went in there, and the hiring manager happened to be the area general manager, which was one of the only women in the optical industry back then, and that was in the mid-'80s. And she was a single mother, and she hired me on the spot, and gave me a book, and she said, "Come back," I think it was like in a week, "and I'll test you out. And depending on what you know is what I'll pay you." So I studied that book. My brother learned a lot about optical that week. And I tested out. And she hired me and trained me and helped guide my career. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think you've had some significant mentors in your life, and as most of you maybe have either come to learn or will come to learn, connecting and mentors are a huge part of your journey, either an easier path or a a more fulfilling path. So do you want to talk, I mean, I think she was one of your first mentors, and then
Yep, Shirley Winslow.
Yeah. So talk about Shirley. And
Oh gosh, Shirley. Shirley was tough as nails. She was just tough as nails, but boy, she loved me. And she taught me as much as she could for the company that I was with. It was a discount company that also owned like Ward's Optical. And so it wasn't a high-end boutique by any means. And she really suggested that I go to Pearl Vision because they had national training programs back then. And so it took me 2 years of working with Pearl and to complete all of their training programs. And I went back to Shirley, and I'm like, okay, what do I do now, you know? And she said, you need to try to get your foot in the door at a doctor-owned practice. And that's when I got in at 1 Hour Optical, way before it was with Real Optics. And it was doctor-owned, and that doctor, I became a contact lens technician and learned everything I could learn about contact lenses. And he told me that I needed sales training. And the optical industry did not offer sales training. And so I go back to my brother, and I'm like, what do I do? And my brother says, go sell cars. Just go sell cars for a living. And or no, it was Kirby vacuums. Yeah, Kirby vacuums.
Yes.
So I tried that, and I was, no, I'm not doing that. And he said, just go sell cars. So I got a job with Chrysler Corp. And I worked selling new cars for the next 2 years. I think it took me to complete all their sales training. And then back I go. And that's when I landed a job with Wiley Eye Care Center and was able to be trained directly under Lois Koppel for the next 6 years.
how many of you remember her and her ads?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she was
phenomenal. I just phenomenal. Lois is one of those people, either you like her or you don't, and I loved her. I absolutely loved her, and she was just packed full of information, and she loved to train, and she loved working with women, and she put me in my own store, and she would come out once a week and tell me, you know, different things I could do to well, take a table outside. She'd say, take a table outside and go stand out there and just wave at people, you know, and put a bunch of glasses out there, you know. And so I'd go out there and I'd wave at people, and you know, eventually those people would come in, you know, and she'd always tell me, just be yourself. Just be yourself, because you will attract your own, you know, just be yourself. And, you know, you will attract like-minded people, and I did, and I grew that practice, and that was fantastic as well. I mean, I walked in there, I was the only employee, and I think the doctor only worked a half day a week, and by the time I left, there was a total of 3 employees, and the doctor was working full-time. So that was just an incredible experience.
What's the biggest thing you think she taught you?
Marketing. Marketing.
She was a queen at that.
Marketing. She was really about, you know, getting out there and letting people know who you are. You know, just let people know who you are, and don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of. You know, try something new. Try something new, and I would try something new, and I would go back to her and say, well, you know, it didn't work, and she'd say, well, do this to it. Just change it a little bit and try it again, and so we'd change it a little bit, and it have a little bit more speed to it, and I'd say, okay, it's picking up speed, and she'd say, okay, now do this with it, and so she was just always. She wasn't. Like, she was always outside the box, and real open to change and trying new things and critiquing it. And just because it wasn't working didn't mean it was a bad idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Not being afraid to try new things and then adjusting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So you're with Lois for a number of years. And then you make a change.
Yes.
Yes.
And I go to the biggest competitor, which is Isaac Civey with Real Optics Incorporated, Vogue Vision, Yonkers, 1 Hour Optical. I go to them and I'm with them for, I want to say the next 12 years. And
Talk about the difference.
oh,
between those
huge difference. With Wiley's, there's a lot of employees. You know, you're not working real hard. It's really about, well, it's just it's a different feel altogether. And Vogue, I was able to work directly under the owner once again. So his office was like 5 feet behind me. And he was just internal marketing. Everything was about internal. You know, what are we doing for the people we already have? You know, what are we? How are we keeping the people we already have? You know, boy, we would go through. All the charts had dates on them, and we would go 10 years back, and we would pull absolutely everybody, and we would call them. You know, we'd call them, "Hi, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? Where you been?" You know,
Really, you need new glasses by now.
well, and just invite them back in.
Right,
You know, just invite
right.
them back in. Get some cookies or whatever. Just invite them back in, and you know, sending them coupons and he would bring me in. We would go through P&L reports. So I learned about the back end, and I learned about frame buying from Isaac. He would come out and he would say, "Everything looks dark. We need light colored frames. We need some reds. We need some pinks and blues. And, you know, you need to do this." And so I would revamp, and he would come back out and say, "Okay, you're missing this size. Where's this size?" You know, and so, you know, you get to that point where you start fully understanding that you need a broad range of sizes, and you need a broad range of colors and style and materials, but you're only dealing with 500 frames. And 20% of those frames are sunglasses. It's not a lot of merchandise. So to really, I mean, you had to be good. I mean, you really had to be a good frame buyer to be able to constantly keep an excellent mix in your store, and that was kind of the goal. And when you had that, anybody who walked in the door, you could help them. It didn't matter. They didn't have to go somewhere else because it was there.
Right.
You know, and learning how to negotiate contracts with vendors. You know, I didn't know that you could do that. I had no idea. And he would give me one vendor and let me kind of negotiate that. And then I would take it back into him, just like selling cars. You know, I would take it back into the big boss and say, "Okay, it's this." And he'd say, No, tell him you want this. And so I'd go back, you know, and he'd say, "Be firm." So, and yeah, so you could negotiate contracts, and so it really helped me a lot later on in my career.
Right. Oh, can't you just see how this is building and developing? And, whether or not. Okay.
Yeah. Fast forward.
Now where are we?
Oh my gosh! So I thought I was done with the optical business. About, well, I think it was 2014, 2013, somewhere in that neighborhood. My husband had been telling me to quit my job for about 3 years. And, you know, finally one day I was just like, "Okay, I'm done with the optical business," and I quit. And
it was all consuming. Your life.
Yeah. I just, Isaac had retired, you know, so I really wasn't learning anything there anymore. I called him my work husband, Spike Glenn Harvey, which was one of the greatest opticians ever known to Iowa. And he had passed away, you know, the year prior. And I wasn't feeling it anymore. You know, I wasn't feeling it anymore. And I think my mom thought I was going through a midlife crisis. "What are you doing? You know, you're finally stable." But, you know, it was time for me to go. And I thought maybe I wanted to sit in an office, do data entry. And so I took a class for medical billing and coding. And then I went to the interviews, and I saw the looks on the people's faces sitting in the cubicles. And in the
That's
middle
not
of the
gonna work.
interview, that's what I said. In the middle of the interview, I'm really sorry. I think I've made a mistake. I need to go. And I left. And my older brother is a very successful business owner out in California, and he flew the entire family out to California. And I was running my career down to him, and he's one of those, he just says a few words and it just speaks volumes. Isn't that right, Margot? And he said, sis, I don't know when you're going to open up your own place. And my husband's just elbowing me. And I was like, okay. So I came home and stripped my resume down, and I went to work for a private practice who had no idea who I was. So they thought I was an optician with no managerial experience, no frame buying experience, no billing and coding experience, nothing, that I was an optician. And while I was there, I noticed that they hadn't renegotiated their contracts for a while, and they hadn't reassessed their frame boards for a while, and there was a lot of little things that needed to really be critiqued. And I loved my manager. I absolutely loved her. And so I dove in and started doing that and found myself in the same position where I'm doing a lot again, this time for a lot less money. And I was okay with that because I absolutely adored my manager. I adored this woman. And she passed away. And I was just like, okay, I'm done. I need to get this figured out. And that's when I got a job at Ashworth Vision Clinic, and I enrolled in Dream Builder, and Dream Builder completely changed who I was and how I felt about me in my career, and yeah.
Talk about your relationship with Barb, and that's Dr. Barb Sheets at
Yep.
Ashworth Vision, because this doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
But when you're able to do what she's going to describe, it was huge.
It was crazy.
Right,
It was
right.
like the universe said, this is what you're supposed to be doing. I had a no competition clause, and I was taking this class, and the more I got involved in the class, and the more I got involved in doing all the assignments, oh my gosh, all the assignments that, I dove in and I completed all the assignments. And the more I wanted to do this, and I thought I needed to put in my 2-week notice and walk away. And I went to put in my 2-week notice, and my manager, who I love, I absolutely love this woman. It was heartbreaking for me to put in my 2-week notice. I literally was shedding tears doing it. And she says, no, where are you going? What are you doing? And I said, well, I want to open up my own place. She says, why do you have to leave to open up your own place? And I'm like, well, I have a no competition clause. And she said, no, you're not going anywhere. And I just started crying because that just was not my experience. It just has never been my experience when I leave a job. And they've been just so supportive. And I still work there on my days off. I don't have days off. I work there on Mondays, and I'm getting ready to start every other Saturday when my business is closed. And they're just supportive, and how's it going, and we share ideas, and I still get to work with the young optician there that I absolutely love, and I love training, and still get to be an optician, and I don't have any responsibilities there. I just need to behave myself, Yeah, so it's a great place to be, and they give me a paycheck.
That's right.
I don't get that at my store.
Revenue stream. In a very unlikely way.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show that not burning bridges is a good
Yeah.
thing, and people will collaborate if approached honestly
Yeah.
and openly. Now, if you were going to open across the street,
Yeah.
that might not have
Right.
flown, but you're not in direct competition.
Oh,
So
no, I'm
it's
clear
very
out in
cool.
Altoona.
It's
Yeah.
very cool. It's a very cool collaboration. All right, so you're gonna open your own place.
Yes.
This girl did research. Let me tell you, left no stone unturned. But that's what you have
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
So talk about that. You not only did the assignments, you did the research. So talk about how you decided where you were going to be and how much space you needed and how much money you were going to put into it.
Yeah. Well, I can build villages with a stack of wood, okay? So, I mean, like, I can do a lot with little. And so I started out in Highland Park because that's where I grew up. And I really, really wanted to open up in Highland Park in my neighborhood where I came from. And I couldn't find anything in the area. There wasn't anything available, which right now there's like 5 buildings available. But then there wasn't. And so I started moving east because I did not want to go west. I'm really gearing towards blue-collared workers, real life, real families, neighborhoods, I mean, when I was at Vogue, I watched kids come in and put their fingers on the countertops to look up over, and by the time I left, they were driving themselves there. And that's what I wanted again, I wanted families. And so I kept going east, and couldn't find anything I liked, and I ended up in Altoona, and I was like, holy cow, this place is completely different than the last time. And so I started shopping in the area, and I started getting my nails done out there, and I was going to the Hy-Vee, and I was going to the dog food store, and everybody was so nice, and people were kind, and it felt like Highland Park. It felt like home. And so I was like, okay, I need to start looking for a space. And I got with a realtor, and she showed me some pretty large spaces that were going to cost a lot of money, and there just wasn't anything at 1,000 square foot. I just needed 500 to 1,000. 500 square feet to 1,000 square feet, somewhere in that neighborhood, and there was nothing, and I was really starting to think that this was not going to happen. And so I set all my bills had to be under $1,500. It had to be, and or else I couldn't do it. And I ran across this little place in Old Town, and it was terrible. And I laughed and I said, "No way! There's no way. There's no way. I can afford this, but there's just no way." And I honestly just prayed and prayed about it, and something in my gut was like, just go back and look again. And I went back with a tape measure, and it would work. It would actually work. And so I took my husband, and I'm like, "Do you think we can redo this?" He said, "Oh gosh, I just don't know. I mean, how much money do you have in the budget for this?" $2,500. That's it. $2,500 to completely gut a building, new flooring, new paint, shelving, everything. $2,500. And I kid you not, we pulled it off. We pulled it off. Yeah, I was on Facebook Marketplace buying stuff. I was refinishing furniture in the garage.
Right.
I was refinishing shelving, and everything in the store has pretty much either our blood or our sweat on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
But that is such an important lesson that you did the research to figure out how much you could afford, and you stuck.
Oh, I stuck to it. It's not in the budget.
Right.
He wanted better flooring. I said it's not in the budget. Matter of fact, we're going to reuse this flooring back there. What? That's terrible. Well, we're going to go through it piece by piece.
Right.
Get it figured out.
So how long did that process take from the time you signed the lease till you opened?
Oh my goodness, 45 days. 45 days working full time, getting off work at 4 or 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, going to the shop, being a construction worker, painter, until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, going home, getting back up, going to work. And so we were on a time frame, 45 days, we opened up the doors.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, really
Were you
exciting.
scared?
No.
No?
No, I mean, I wasn't afraid to open up the doors. I mean, that's my element, you know.
Right.
The optical industry, that's where I thrive. I mean, I know it inside and out. I mean, I don't fear that. I fear, you know, people not coming.
Sure.
You know, but yeah, it's just like everything that Lois told me, though, has been real.
Yeah.
You know.
So talk about how customers, okay, I opened the door. Where are the customers? How are you getting your customers?
Oh my gosh. First and foremost, I have stayed in contact with my entire neighborhood, and I don't know, I know Margot's from Highland Park, but we stick together. And so the entire, you know, like I've had tons of people from the neighborhood show up, friends, family. I've lived my whole life in Des Moines, and one of the things that I refused to do was steal any clientele base. And I just kept putting it out there and putting it out there and going shopping in the area and telling people, hey, you know, if you need your glasses adjusted, stop in and see me. Or somebody's pushing their glasses up at the grocery store. It's like, come see me. Let me fix those, you know. Yeah. And they would come in, and there's thrift stores out there, you know, helping hands. I go out there and buy stuff from them and donate stuff from yard sales, and you know, just really getting involved in the community. Yeah, and you know, gearing towards union workers. So you know, I called them up. Hey, I've been helping you guys for years. I'm over here now.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
What makes your business unique?
Ugh.
What was your vision about how it was going to feel different from Vogue or Pearl or any other place that you've been? How was Chris Singleton's boutique going to be different?
Well, when you walk in, everything's wood. I refuse to have glass in the store. I'm tired of cleaning glass. I've been cleaning glass for 30 years.
There's a practical element.
No more glass. We're going to do wood with Swiffer dusters. And so we have wood shelves, and everything's just really industrial feeling, and wood floors and shiplap walls. And so and a lot of times when you walk in, well, sometimes I'll have my Fleetwood Mac up just a little too loud, but that's okay. Most people don't care. And you know, and then there's me. You know, I was taught that when you walk in the door, you get up out of your chair. That was a big thing of Lois, is you get out of your chair. You not sit behind the counter, get up out of your chair. So that's the very first thing I do, is show respect to people who are coming in, no matter what they want. I get up out of my chair, and I make sure that I'm standing with them. And you know, I really thought that I know that my approach is really old school, and I know that I have a lot of old school ways about me because of who I was taught by. But I really thought that it was going to be maybe the pricing. You know, I'm not the highest priced, but I'm not the lowest priced. And somewhere in my head, I really thought that people would buy from me because of, you know, economy stuff or whatnot. And that's just not what happened. Right. So Chris got to flourish. Chris got to see who she really is as an optician. And, you know, I've been able to get creative and use some really old methods with new technology, which really makes me unique out there. And I'm not afraid to ask. I'm not afraid to ask my clientele, you know, what did you like about your experience here? You know, is there anything I could do to be better? And they're like, no, you've been great. You know, you listen to me, you help guide me, you give me options, you help me understand what it is I've been buying all these years. I have no idea why I've been buying this, you know. And because I firmly believe that, you know, if I'm educated on something I'm purchasing, I'm going to make a really good decision for myself. And so if I have the information, I should be sharing it free of charge. You know, I mean, isn't that really what we're supposed to be doing, is helping each other, you know? And so that's my philosophy. Yeah.
Helping people.
Helping people, just help. Yeah.
What's your why?
Not sure why.
Why do you do this?
I love helping people. I mean, this is an area that I just really feel. Man, I am a wealth of knowledge. I am a wealth of knowledge. I have a ton of experience, and when I can solve your problem, you know, like people come in and they have eyewear issues or problems or whatever, and they're willing to actually try something different, and I'm willing to back it if it doesn't work, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. This is, you know, that right there is, it fulfills me. And
You
yeah.
don't get that online.
Mm-mm.
Warby Parker doesn't do that.
No.
No.
Yeah, Warby Parker doesn't do a lot of
I
things.
know they don't. They don't, and they don't last very long. So talk about the running of the business things.
Oh my God.
The payroll and the taxes and the things you had to either learn
Oof.
or maybe find some help for.
Yeah.
How did you handle that?
There is no payroll, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm absolutely everything. I do everything. I'm an optician. I don't do taxes. I don't, and that's just really a frustrating, you know, part for me is filing quarterly taxes. But I mutter my way through it, and I did hire. Yes, I hired an accountant to kind of keep track of everything, and then the Iowa Center has done my taxes for me. And thank God somebody's doing them, right? Because
That's good.
yeah, because the accountant called one day and he said, "Hey, I need to speak to the person responsible for the quarterly paperwork. I haven't received it yet." And I said, "Yeah, well, I'm going to have to talk to that person and find out why they're not doing their job and get back to you."
I'll call you right back.
And he knows good and well I'm the only one there, you know. I'm like, who forgot to do this? Yeah.
Learning
Yes.
as you go.
Huge learning curve, you know, huge learning curve. But, you know, I mean, I'm willing. I may get, you know, frustrated, you know, but I don't give up.
Right.
I don't give up. I just keep pushing.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk about how you've gotten involved in the community, because you don't live in that community. So you talked a little bit about just going from store to store. Are
Yeah.
there other things you've found or some networking things you've tried to do to bring light to that you're there in Old Town?
So I did sign up with the chamber, Altoona
Okay.
Chamber, and that's pretty much ran by women. Yep. And so, you know, just finding out what they can do to help me. So they can share my events. They can, put me in the buzz feed for, you know, things that are happening. But I have to be proactive, and I have to get them that information. And then there's a group called Next Door. I don't know if anybody's a part of that, but Next Door is neighborhoods. It's neighborhood communication. So jumping on there and letting everybody know, hey, 4th of July, I'm giving away free, you know, 4th of July stuff to the kids. Stop in. You know, so that's something that I will do every single year. Altoona Rocks. I'm on there, and you know, I post little tidbits and ask people questions, and you know, just trying to, and I'm being followed by quite a few people I don't know. They're all from Altoona, so, and some of them are even my friends now. Yeah. Yeah. And the tattoo guys next door are helpful.
Are they helpful?
Oh, they're very helpful.
Good.
Yeah, so I talk to them a lot, and they send people over all the time because they tattoo everybody in Altoona.
Yeah.
I mean, who'd have thought?
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
That works. Talk about your website and who is handling your social media.
Oh my gosh, my daughter. So my daughter Sarah is that's her gig. I mean, she can build a website within an hour. Beautiful website. I mean, this is just kind of her thing. She loves to do this. So she built the website. She created all my branding. You can definitely tell the difference in between her post and my post, because her post is like branded. She makes sure that it follows all the branding, and then mine are just kind of like, whoa, here I am, And she's like, Mom, you only have Tuesdays and Thursdays to do that. I have the rest of the week. So, yeah, she takes care of all that for me. So that's fantastic.
That's good.
Yeah.
And are you hoping that maybe she'll join you?
No, I'd love to. Yeah, I would love for her to come in. She comes in every Tuesday and Thursday, and in the beginning she was there every day that I was open. And boy, I'm hoping so.
That she'll fall in love with it.
Yeah.
The way you did.
Yeah, and she's a wonderful support system. So she's just right there when I'm feeling like, oh gosh, should I have done this? And she's like, just hold on, Mom, just hold on. Just, stick with it. Just keep moving forward. Well, what else do we need to get done? And, gets me moving again. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, okay, it's over. Yeah.
What would you say is the one characteristic that an entrepreneur needs to have?
Courage. That's been my word since I started Dream Builder, is courage, because my mom always used to say, you can do anything, you just need to push yourself. You just need to take one step further than you think you can. And, that's courage, to when you think you can't go any further and you're tired and you're wore out and you're at the end of your rope, just take one more step. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Make me cry. So what's next? What's your next kind of
what's my
dream
next attack on the world?
Or what's the next step in your business that you're really striving towards?
I would really like to bring in bags, boots, scarves, hats, socks. I would really like to get into accessories. Okay. And run with that. So that's
cool.
Yeah, something I wanted to do. Because the market, the eyewear industry has changed so much to fashion. And we run around. We have matching jackets to our boots. And we match everything. And, what if your bag matched your boots and your glasses? I mean,
about that.
I would just be like, yes, sign me up.
That's exciting.
So that's something
exciting.
I'd like to do.
That's exciting. Anything else you'd like to share? We didn't get to the mattress story.
Oh, the mattress story.
Tell us the mattress
Okay,
story.
the mattress story. So this happened a couple years before I walked away from my management position. My husband and I, we needed a new mattress. And so we thought, we're going to go get a good one. We're just going to spend the money, get a good mattress. And so we go to all these different places, high-end places. We even drove to Boone and went to Redeker's, and we went everywhere. And the information that we received was so conflicting. So, basically you talk to 6 different people, 6 different sales representatives at 6 different companies. I'm just throwing out the number 6. And everybody had something different to say about the same product. So if you picked out the same mattress with the same insides and you had the skew and everything, one person would say, this is the best in the world. Another person would say, oh no, that's terrible. Another person would say, oh, it's okay. You know, and there was no consistency. And I told my husband, I said, this is exactly the way the optical industry is. There is so much conflicting information and nobody can really clarify it for anybody. And I can. I can. I can tell you what a different company has and why it is the way it is and what you're going to experience and run those different things down to better help you to make a good choice for yourself, whether you buy from me or not. You know, I think that's what you're supposed to do.
That's your why.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Should we answer some questions?
Sure.
Okay, let's answer some questions. What questions do you guys have for Chris and her journey, her very interesting optic journey? Yes.
Got one. So I have purchased several pairs of but one of the things when you were in class and we first started talking, I've worn bifocals since I was 15 years old, and this year was the first time I've ever had a pair of bifocals that I don't have to do this with. But one of the things that you were asking me, like, what is your day like? How often do you walk around the office? I mean, it's questions. I'm like, what does this have to do with my glasses? Can you speak to why those things make a difference and why I finally have a pair of glasses that I can wear and see?
Well, and like I said earlier, excuse me, everybody has a different experience. And there's a lot of really cool products out there on the market that places just are not working with. You know, I think it's just too much to add to the lineup. And myself, I look at these products and I say, oh my gosh, these have a home. You know, certain people are just going to love this product. And that's actually a occupational lens. And it's structured so that the entire arm's distance area is massive. It's huge. To where in a progressive, it's only this big. So when you're looking at a computer screen, you can look at this, 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 this. But when you're in this occupational lens, you can see the entire computer. You can tip your head down and still see across the room. You're not supposed to drive in them.
I don't.
Because I do, and I'm not supposed to. And then the reading area is just massive. So when you start really getting into specialty merchandise, and that lens is so much less expensive than a progressive. And I was asking her questions because I want to know, you know, do you seriously, honestly drive in your glasses? And she said no. Well, the lens that she was wearing is the majority, 80% of the real estate is for driving. When she needs 80% of the real estate to be computer range. You know, so she was in a lens that didn't work for her.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you dabbled a little bit on the online piece because that has really shaken up eyewear in the past, couple years.
Yep.
So how, obviously customer service and knowing that, being able to ask those questions is a huge component. But when people are in this mentality of online is just easier, how are you combating that a little bit?
Oh my gosh. For me, it's super simple because people want personal connection. I mean, they really do. And they can jump online and they can buy glasses and they're, oh yeah, these are cute. No, yeah, I can see down the street. But when you read my reviews of real live people who are wearing my merchandise and they talk about, yeah, I've been buying glasses online for years and had no idea that my vision could be like this. You know, and I talk to my patients, I say, please jump online, give an honest appraisal of who I am and what the merchandise is that you have. And what they're finding is that they're not paying much more with me, but they're receiving so much more. Their vision, their clarity, you know, the health of their eyes, and I'm going to take care of them. Nobody's out there taking care of them. You know, people want that personal connection.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it's really changed in the past couple of years, but I think
Yeah.
that's why one of our summit speakers is focused on customer service, because it's coming back around.
The products that they're selling online, this is what people don't know, okay, is that there is actually a clarity value, it's called the Abbey value, of all lens materials, okay? And polycarb is what you see all the time. You get a polycarbonate lens with an anti-reflective coating and a frame for $9.99, you know? And you have to think about that. I mean, if you're gonna buy a good pair of shoes, are they gonna be $9.99? No. You know, so they're putting them on, and it's like looking through plexiglass, and they don't hold up. But you know what? They're only $9.99, so let's get 20 pairs. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the younger, I mean, my son, yeah, he's ordered a ton from Warby Parker because they were so cheap. But once he got into her lenses, then he can see so much better.
Yeah. We just did a recording of one of my granddaughter's best friends who has always been in economy lenses. And hopefully we're going to get this posted next week. But his actual experience of putting on good lenses with good coatings and the look on his face, you know, it's enough for somebody like me to stay in the business for the rest of my life. You know, like we really helped him.
Yeah.
So.
And having it on video, that
Oh,
would be
yeah.
huge. That would be huge. Yeah. Is there anything more? Or, yes.
I just have, two questions. Number one, do you make all of your glasses in-house or do you send them out?
No, I actually support a lab out in West Des Moines. I'm really big about supporting local jobs. And so I go through a company called Wallman's, and they have a private label lens that is just blow your mind clear. I mean, it's just, even I put them on, I'm spoiled. I wear nothing but the best. And I put them on, I was like, wow, I can even see clear yet. You know, this is crazy, because for somebody like me, I shouldn't be able to put on, you know, something and say, oh, this is even better yet, you know.
And they're right here in Des Moines.
And they're right here in Des Moines, and the delivery service is right here in Des Moines. And so, yeah, I really get to support local jobs.
That's good. I'll come in and see you. So that
Thanks.
was the first part. The second part is, does your brother want to adopt another sister?
No, absolutely not, because I am the only one who has had children, and I have a daughter, and then she has a daughter. So there's three of us that he's very busy spoiling. Yes, and yeah, we will fight for our right to, yeah.
But that's a good point about family support.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He sends things all the time, and he bought mirrors and this great big. I posted on Facebook. It's here. But a great big eyeglass frame with mirrors in it, and yeah.
That's cool.
So, did you have a question?
So I'm actually an optician also.
Yes.
And I learn new things every single day. So
Yeah.
I know you have so much experience, but do you still feel like you're learning stuff every day now?
Absolutely. I am constantly reading up in the magazines, constantly on the different websites, learning about new technology. I meet with lab representatives outside of the lab that I work with to learn about new technology. I love new technology. Yeah, there's always something to learn in the optical business. Yeah.
Cool. Ricky.
For two questions. First, you said you worked you open every other Saturday. This Saturday you on, or you're closed?
I'm actually closed because I'm doing a health fair at the Ironworkers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're open next Saturday?
Yep, should be.
And then the other question, how long actually have you had your business?
November 1st, it'll be 1 year. Yeah, so I'm almost to the 1 year marker. Yeah.
And construction.
Yeah.
On the street to get the easiest path
Yeah, the easiest path.
for at least 6 months.
I've had 2 people not show up.
Yeah.
Only 2.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
find you, but
Yeah.
that makes a difference. So if you can make it through
Oh, yeah.
this construction.
It's a
just
3-year
think-
project.
Oh.
It's a 3-year project.
I can't go to the grocery store because of that construction.
Yeah, so it's a 3-year project,
That's
and
tough on
it's like
small
if I can
business.
make it through the next
Yep.
3 years, I'm good.
You're in.
I'm
You're
good.
old.
Yeah.
Put your table outside, wave at it.
Oh no, I do. I go out front, and I smile at people as they drive by. Because I mean, isn't that really the Iowa way?
There's the bar right down at the corner.
Oh gosh, the bar down at the corner. So I'll get so busy that people are kind of lined up, and I'll tell them, go down to the bar, have some drinks. I'll call you when I'm ready for you.
You send them with a buzzer.
I do.
You know, like an
I
Apple
do.
buzzer.
I do. And then they come back, they're really happy. Yeah, it's fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else anybody wants to ask her? Yeah. Anything you want to share?
There's always a lot. There really is. But I mean, like if
What's been the best moment so far of owning your own business?
of owning my own business,
Yeah.
the best moment? I don't know. I think about my entire career. I don't think about just, over the last year what the best moment has been. I know that it's really rewarding, and I suppose the absolute best part is making decisions on, what does Chris want? What does Chris want? Who does Chris want to help, and how is Chris going to help him? And I got to make that decision, and I don't have anybody telling me that I'm doing it wrong. I don't have anybody telling me I'm spending too much time with patients. I don't have anybody telling me you need to get moving. And I just get to really do what I love the most, and just listen to people and really help them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And you will be successful because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what somebody told me. As long as I can stick to that, I will be a huge success. That as long as I never give up on, why I got started, why I want to do things.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you. Awesome. Go support her. Go support.
Yay!
Altoona. Old Town. It's very
Yep,
fun.
Old Town Altoona.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay.